So if you are new around here, I am Rosie and my partner is Charlie, and for the last 6.5 months we have been travelling in Southeast Asia. In this video, I'm just going to go through our routes and what we would do slightly different if we done it again. It's not me saying this is the right route to do, it's just if we were to do it again, we'd have a different opinion on how we'd go around. For me to be able to show you this, I need a few things. So let me go get it. I got my things. So, let's go. So starting off with the world map, I'm just going to outline our initial travel route. So travelling all the way from United Kingdom, which is there. We're going to travel all the way to Southeast Asia, was around about this area here. So starting in Thailand, moving into Laos, all the way down Vietnam, through to Cambodia, again down Malaysia, and then finally into Indonesia. So I would say we've done the route that we wanted to do, but in a very mishmash kind of way. So whilst we're talking about which countries we went to, I thought I'd slightly touch on the visa situation. So most countries, if not all countries, you will need a visa. You can find this either on your government website or a website called Passport Index. Going through the countries in order of our original plan, starting with Thailand, we didn't need a visa. And that's because as British citizens, we wasn't required to have one. So it is now 30 days, but at the time, because of COVID, we had 45 days exemption, which means it's completely free. All you have to do is show your passport. Laos, you can either do it on arrival or online. We'd probably suggest doing it online just because it takes all the hassle out of it when you're there. But at the time, we didn't realise that you could do it online. In terms of Vietnam, we get exemption again as British citizens for 15 days. Again, free, or you can do a 30 days visa online. Then you go on to Cambodia. I'm pretty sure you can do visa arrival. Yes, I'm pretty sure, and you can do it online. We done it online just because it was just easier to do it. And then in Malaysia, we are very, very lucky as British citizens that we get 3 months exemption. So that's really, really helpful for us to go to Malaysia. And then in Indonesia, you do have to pay either on arrival or online. Now I'm just going to go through the actual route we ended up taking. Starting on October the 31st, we fly to Bangkok. Skip to the next timestamp if you want to move straight onto the route we would do next time. From Bangkok, we head on a 10-hour bus ride to Chiang Mai and then a 13-hour train ride back down. Next, heading to the Ko Islands, we spend a few weeks there before taking a sketchy 8-hour ferry ride to Siratani, where we get a bus to Khao Sok. Continuing on, we stop off in Bangkok before heading to Vientiane. From here, we head on what was supposed to be a 4-hour journey, which was actually 8, and then made a detour to Rock Lodge before heading back to Vientiane. Next, we take a minivan to Vang Vieng and a train to Luang Prabang. Flying to Hanoi, we have a quick trip up to Hainan and a day trip to Halong Bay before flying out to Kuala Lumpur. From here, we jump in a cosy 5-hour bus to Penang and back down to Kuala Lumpur before flying out to Sabah. Moving on, we take a 7.5-hour bus to Sandakan, onto Semporna, onto Tau and back to Kuala Lumpur. Having a quick stop off in Malacca, we next head to Bali. Skipping Kuta entirely, we head to Ubud, Canggu and Sediment. Travelling by boat, we head to Nusa Penida, Gili and mainland Lombok. In quick car journeys, we visit Senaru, Tetu Batu and Kuta. Then flying all the way back over to Phnom Penh where Charlie's luggage went missing, and then north to Siem Reap. Taking a 12-hour sleeper bus and another bus, we arrive in Ho Chi Minh City. Heading on to Dalat by bus, we next opt for a short flight to Da Nang before moving on to Hoi An and then Hue. Taking a rundown 12-hour sleeper bus, we arrive in Hanoi to fly back out to Luang Prabang. Taking a short detour again, we head to Nong Khai before heading home via Vientiane. So bringing my laptop into view, I'm just going to go through when the best time to go to each of these places. So if you're someone who's new to this channel, you probably don't know is that I'm the researcher in the couple. So I like to make sure that everything's, activities sorted, places to go, all this kind of stuff. The one thing that I had a downfall on was the weather. So yeah, Charlie would probably say I didn't score very well on the weather. When I started doing my research way back to come to Southeast Asia, I saw that November was dry season, and I just assumed that it was going to be great weather, that there wouldn't be any rain, it wouldn't be too hot, and it would just be perfect. But it wasn't. So I'm going to go through to help you avoid what we went through and got caught in some of the rain elements. So just want to start off by saying it's in a weird order, and just to go along with it, starting with Thailand, we have Chiang Mai. Between November and December, it's the best time. Nice heat and avoids burning season. Bangkok between November and December because it's cooler weather. Yala, which is right at the bottom of the country, December to Feb is the best time as it has small rainfall and cooler temperatures. Ko Islands, December to March, as it's more settled weather, which we realised in November it wasn't. So in my opinion and from my research, Thailand, December is the best time to go. Going into Laos, we have Vientiane is between November and Feb as it's got more of a comfortable weather or temperature. You then got Luang Prabang in the north, November to March, dry and comfortable weather. Paxi in the south, November to March is the best time because it's dry. So in my opinion and from my research, Laos is best in December/January. Going into Cambodia, the best time is between December and January. So the country itself has a very in sync temperature. So November to April, sunny weather and dry temperatures. It will be like that over the whole country. Going into Vietnam, in Hanoi, November to April is best as it has low rainfall and it's sun shining. Hoi An, we've got Feb to April, warm weather and little rain, and then Ho Chi Minh right in the south, December to March, settled weather. So the best time to go to Vietnam is between Feb and March. Moving on to Malaysia, we have Kuala Lumpur, May to September, remains relatively dry. In Malaysia, it does rain weirdly at like 3 o'clock. So hopefully if you went at that time of the year, maybe it won't. Who knows? Let us know if you do know that. Singapore, February to April, least amount of rain and low humidity. Sabah, May to September, dry season. Sarawak, April to September, drier in weather. So overall, best time to go to Malaysia is April/May. And then finally into Indonesia, we have West Sumatra, May to October as it's the dry season. Java, May to September, hot, dry and sunny. Bali, May to September as it's settled weather. Lombok, June to September as there's less rainfall. And then East Tenggara, if I'm saying that right, July to August as there's plenty of sunshine. From my research, I'd probably say Indonesia, June and July is the best time. And then I have made a little note, all are pretty hot all year round. So if you're British, be prepared. But from our experience, Laos and North Vietnam are significantly cooler mid-December and mid-January. We were wearing coats and yeah, it was pretty cold. So in England terms, yeah, you'd be used to it. So now I'm going to go on to what we would do if we were to do it again. And then hopefully what I've just gone through, the best times, will help you understand why the route would change slightly. So taking all of this into consideration, I would start a month later and begin the journey in December, starting in Bangkok. So would have moved all the way down to the Ko Islands here, and then all the way back up to Chiang Mai here. So with Laos, I'd probably say going from Chiang Mai, you want to be going into Luang Prabang. Then if you want a couple days away, going into Nong Ki, which is just a little bit up and then coming back on yourself. And then heading down into Vang Vieng, which is round about here. Then obviously down into Vientiane, the capital. Then Rock Lodge, and Rock Lodge is probably around here. Then go into Paxi, which is a little bit further down. Let's give it there. And then you've got down the bottom, 4,000 Islands. So next you would go into Vietnam. So we've just come from the bottom of Laos, and I would suggest, because we're right at the bottom of Laos, going across. So in line with the bottom is Da Nang. So Da Nang's slightly around here. To Da Nang, to Hoi An, then to Dalat, which is down here, into Ho Chi Minh. So all the way around. So yes, we are not going on to the rest of Vietnam. We're actually going to go into Cambodia. So going from Ho Chi Minh in Vietnam, you're going to travel into the capital, Phnom Penh, and then up to Siem Reap up here. So to avoid any confusion, I printed out a different sheet because we're going back into Vietnam. So we've just gone from Phnom Penh into Siem Reap in Cambodia. We're now going to go back into Vietnam through Da Nang. So Da Nang again on the side. We want to go to Hue, which is slightly above, then into Hanoi up the top, and then Haijan at the very top of the country. So we have now done South Vietnam and North Vietnam in 2 different slots. So next we're going to go into Malaysia. Obviously, there's no way around it. You need to get a flight into Malaysia. So from Hanoi, probably stopping in Ho Chi Minh, and then all the way into Kuala Lumpur, your first stop. You're going to go up to the north in Penang, and unfortunately you're going to have to go back on yourself to go to Malacca. So you're going up and back down. Moving on, you're going to have to fly all the way over into the next island, into Sandakan. If you've noticed, we have skipped Kota Kinabalu, Simporna, and that's purely because we just felt like they were just add-ons for add-ons' sake. They were nice, but the main premise of going to that island was to go to the cruise in Sandakan. And finally, the last thing on our list is Indonesia. So the difference that I would do is flying to Jakarta, right in the west side of the country. I'd then move all the way down into Yogyakarta, which is down here. From there, it would have then gone as planned, going into Bali. And again, I don't know whether or not it's worth going back to Jakarta and flying into Bali. We then go back into originally planned Lombok. So if you're sat there thinking, well, how did this route come about? And it's purely based on our experience and what I think is the best route. Emphasis on the I. So this is my opinion. It could be completely different for other people. So Charlie, I'm sure, will be different to what my opinion of this route should be. The reason why I split Vietnam into 2 halves is because I don't think that 30 days on a visa is enough to get around the whole country. And that's why I split it off. It's just purely down to what you're looking for, what you're wanting to do, any of the experiences you have looked at, and then basing it on there. This is just my opinion on what I think would be best if we were to do it again. But in all honesty, I don't think there is a right or wrong route of doing it. And if anything, if you're doing a completely different route to everyone else, you probably miss the kind of more busy times of when people go. I just say do whatever you think is right. Because at the end of the day, you're going to make mistakes, you'll probably end up going back over yourself, and you'll probably have to spend more money than you needed because you're having to do a different route. But that is travel, and you will just end up figuring it out on the way. So what I suggest is pack a bag, get a flight ready, and go.